Hey, don't forget, November 26th, we'll be at Knoxville Dragway for the Turbo John's Backwards Brawl. Come see us. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I just got over here to Brian's. We got our parts and pieces. Let's see if we can get this thing together. Hopefully we can get at least the bottom end together tonight. Maybe have a short block. I don't know though, it might not be able to make it that far. For sure we'll get the crank in it. They've already set the clearances. Literally all I've got to do is snap the bearings down. He even marked which bearing goes in which hole. That's freaking awesome. So I appreciate Danny and Bobby knocking this thing out, getting it done in just a few days and making it so we can get this thing back together. Not gonna be able to race this weekend or test. It is now Thursday night. It's 409 cubic inches. We're gonna work on it today and then we'll work on it again Saturday and probably maybe Sunday or Monday next week, get it back in the car. Hopefully we'll be good to go. Let me show you what we're gonna do. Let me show you what we got, show you a little bit of details. Comment, like, and subscribe. Go to turbojohnracing.com, grab yourself some merchandise. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, so this should be pretty easy. They got this thing cleaned up. They got it all notched for me. It is in good shape. They didn't find any issues. I did ask him about the little hole back there. He said that happens a lot because it's just so thin, and you see my finger back there, the thin area, and he said that happens all the time. So not a big deal on that. Not in the oil galley or anything like that, so I think we're fine. You know, there's some marks down in here. This is from a previous blow up before I got the block. You know, a lot of these things are scarred up from where they broke rods. You see there's a couple of cylinders down here where there were no issues. Cylinders for the most part look good. There's a little bit of scoring. This thing right here must have had a tremendous amount of methanol in it in order for it to scar that or stain that block. You can feel it a little bit, but it's not terrible, so I think we'll be okay. You know, it is what it is at this point. But they got it all apart, they cleaned it, they line honed it, and you can see these look a ton better. I just had to touch it up with the line hone. This is the only one that it didn't really, you know, do anything. Grab it right there, so that's just a little bit bigger than the rest of it. But it is round now, so that is a good thing. Now, one of the things you have to be careful of too when a 400 main, and I've made this mistake before. Generally, a 350 and 400 has the same rear main seal. But if you line hone this thing, you have to have a special seal. You have to have I think the part number is a 2909 Felpro. And that way it fills up the extra gap and it doesn't leak. If you put a normal seal in here, it will leak and leak terrible. So you have to be careful. So we're going to make some progress today. Got the bearings. We're going to put king bearings for the mains. And we did end up with Clevite bearings for the actual rod bearings. So, you know, they couldn't find the kings with the holes in them. So, you know, that's okay. Kings or Clevites, I don't care. We did talk a little bit about oil flow. You know, Danny wanted to make sure I didn't make the same mistake that Courtney made and had this backwards, which, you know, anything's possible. This is the out that comes from the oil pump. It goes to the inside of the remote filter. And then it goes out of the filter and into the inside of the block. This piece here, this was like this before. So we just fill that with silicone and that is no issue at all. Big block Chevrolet snout, scat crankshaft. It's an older design, 3.75. I guess this is part number stuff. It is a 4340 crankshaft. It is not a cast. It is 4340, so it should hold up to some power. Hopefully it'll be fine. We won't have any issues. It's definitely not as nice as the Bryant, but I mean, the Bryant over here is not good. It is, you know, just honestly at this point, just trash. So that kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. But so we're going to take these things off. First thing I got to do today is go ahead and get the rods off of the pistons. So we got one of them off, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and snap all of these off, and these will be for sale on our website. We sold out of the other ones. I think we still got one or two left. So we'll have 7 or 8 of these. I think one's already sold maybe, but we'll have 7 or 8 of these. We'll clean them up real good and then just sign them. Not to be reused, although some of them are in decent shape, but not to be reused. Just somebody, if they want a piece of Turbo John engine, there you go. All right, guys, so I was going to show you real fast. Danny Ray and Bobby, they already got the clearances set. They had these marked. So these snap in nice and tight, nice and snug. And then the thrust bearing, he's already actually sanded on and got the thrust bearing. He said we got about 8 thousandths. So he sanded this to get this correct. But something I always do, and I show y'all every time I rebuild this, which here recently is a lot. You can see the little groove I grind on the bearing. And basically all this does is when this is here, it allows a little bit of pressurized oil from the bearing directly from this center groove to go to this thrust surface. And so what it does is it fills this valley, and then of course it just helps lubricate the thrust. Hopefully this big motor, we won't have any thrust issues. It's just one of those things. We'll try it, we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. All right, guys, all these caps are on. So these caps are labeled, they got an arrow, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So one thing that you can always look for, I always show this because there's a lot of people that are new to assembly. You always make sure it's tang to tang. And so this is the tang that prevents it from spinning. And so you want it on the same side in the block as the other one. So down there, you notice there's the tang. And so what I do is I flip it over like this, and I make sure it's on the same side, and then I flip it. So that is backwards, and you see my arrow and my number is backwards. So it actually goes the opposite way. So it's just something to think about, something to look at. The other thing, rear main seal, 2-piece seal. This thing, you always want to offset it. You see how it's kind of offset about 1/4 inch. Put silicone on it, and then it prevents it from leaking at the cap back here. And the other thing I do is I put a dab of silicone on the caps themselves. The other thing to make sure, if you notice toward the front of the motor, you have a big part of the seal, and there's a little part back at the back. You always put the big part facing forward. There has been, I've heard of people doing it, I've never done it, but if you have a vacuum pump on the motor, that they turn this around to make it so that it pulls vacuum better without leaking. But I have never done it. Even when I had a vacuum pump, I always put it the correct way. All right, guys, we got all the caps on it. They're all kind of cinched down, probably 20, 30 foot-pounds. Just use the little electric ratchet. Man, this thing turns like butter. Now, it's got good assembly lube on it. So we got about 8 thousandths thrust. With the assembly lube, you can't feel it quite as much, but it turns really nice, really smooth. Like I said, B&D, Bobby and Danny, they got this thing 3.5 thousandths clearance. So I think that's going to be perfect. Now we got to torque these down. The big ones in the center, we go to 75 foot-pounds. These splayed ones are 65 foot-pounds, and these little teeny ones are 30 foot-pounds. I just had to look up the instructions because I can't ever remember those torque specs. So let's torque those down real fast. We'll do it in 2 steps. So we'll do 50 on all of them, and then, well, except for the little ones, 50 on all the big ones, and then we'll do 75 and 65, and then we'll just go straight to 30 on the small ones. All right, guys, crankshaft is in and torqued down, and it still spins fantastic. So we are good to go here. So we're going to go ahead now. Bottom end is not going to be completely assembled today. We're going to get these rods off of the pistons, and I got to clean the pistons. Got to get the copper coat off of them. Danny cleaned these, and they cleaned up pretty good. There's still a little bit of copper coat on. I can get all that off. But we're going to clean these up real fast, get the rods off the pistons, and then that way we can start assembling rods. So there's more engine assembly happening back here. Willie's back here messing with his.
Slowly but surely.
Now, Willie, how often have you built a motor? Is this your first one? Is this your first attempt?
I put together a couple stock 302 short blocks.
Stock 302s. Okay, so he's getting his wings clipped here on some spiral locks.
No, I'm getting my fingernails clipped.
I hate spiral locks. Spiral locks I hate spiral locks. Harper's back here helping them out some. So this thing is, what is it? Good crank, good stock crank, good rods and pistons?
No, it's K1 crank, 4-inch stroke crank.
Y'all bunch of crackheads.
It's all Harper.
Don't pull out. See you soon, no. No, but okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. 4-inch K1 crank, K1 rods, and wide scope flat tops.
So it's crank rods and pistons.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
the only thing stock on is the block.
It's gonna be a boosted motor too, right?
Yep.
Okay. Man, that right there looks pretty nice. That's look how, that is a good piston design.
I waited 4 months on them pistons.
Wow. Is it a box stock piston?
Yeah. It's still stock bore.
All right. Dude,
I don't want to bore it out, so it comes out to like a 402.
It's got a little teeny baby dome in it. Oh, look at the little baby dome. It's so cute. That's a little teeny dome. Mine's like a 5cc. Mine's like a knock.
They're supposed to be flat tops.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
You got screwed. That is not a flat top. You see the dome?
Mm-hmm.
Not unless maybe that's their version of a flat top. I don't know. Maybe they're just accounting for the piston volume. I don't know. That looks like a little dome to me. I don't know.
We're gonna run it on E85 with a S480.
E85 is the devil.
It's
Methanol for the win.
It's a street car.
Gasoline for the win. I don't like E85.
We'll
Ask me
see
how I like
that
E85.
when I drive around you next summer at Dig or Die.
E85 is the devil. These rods will hang out big time. There's a lot of people that have good success with E85. I am not one of them. So,
I can talk trash. I know reed pits.
It's one of those things.
I go over there and unplug a couple wires.
That is a pretty nice rod, though, man. That's the first time I've ever seen the K1 rods. It's pretty slim.
Well, I was comparing them to yours earlier.
Yeah, mine's a little larger.
Even with the size difference, you can. It's not a lot, but you can tell holding each one that there's a weight difference, and these are actually heavier.
Which mine are 6 inches, and this is a 6.125, so 6 1/8. So, yeah, this is nice. So, Willie, are you documenting all this on your YouTube channel as well? The answer should be yes. So
the phone's currently in there.
So y'all need to go check out his channel. So he's over here at Brian's putting his stuff together now. So Stage Lane Productions. He does a lot of videoing too. So when he's at the track, this is Randy's motor over here. It's still here. Those bad to the bone heads, and it's just covered up here. It's relaxing. So, all right, we'll go check out Willie's channel, Stage Lane Productions. Look, he's sporting Turbo John shirt. Go check out. I know, me too.
I got as many as you do.
I've got a ton. Go check out his channel, and he'll show you the build and the car and some racing content.
It's slow progress. I ain't been to a race in a while, and until I picked up the block and his, there wasn't really much work to be done.
No, it's hard.
I tried to document as much as I can, but
all right, guys, we are working on it. We got these things apart. So here's the old rods. One of them's already at the house. So remember, these are going to be on our website. If anybody wants a signed, beat up MGP rod, we got some. We'll sign it right there. Turbo John. Good Christmas present. If you have somebody that likes watching the channel, I appreciate the support too. So these are the pistons. We're going to try to clean these real fast. We got them numbered. I try to keep them all together. Like that's a number 1. And so, of course, I'm putting the new rods in it. They're below it. These are 6/200 rods, and the ones I'm putting in it are 6-inch. So with that stroke of a crankshaft, it worked out a long time ago when I went with this stroke. Richard over at Coach Racing Engines found a crankshaft, and he sorted it out. And he's like, get this piston and this rod, and that'll work perfect. And he was right. And so the good thing is now that this is an off-the-shelf piston. You can see the part number on it is a BC 1200-040. It's a 4.165 bore. This thing doesn't have, the best ring package. They're small rings. It's only got like 190 thousandths on the top ring land. But generally, it's got a big dome in it. But generally with with methanol, you can run a little bit more compression. Danny Ray was actually recalculating our compression. With this thing down in the hole, we're pretty sure, I need to CC the heads, but I'm pretty sure, he's pretty sure that we're going to have about 12 to 1 compression, not 12.9. So that's more doable. So I'm going to go ahead today. I'm going to go ahead now and finish cleaning these pistons, and I'm going to go ahead and hang these rods on it. And you have to pay attention to the way the rods, you know, all of them are the same. But basically, you've got the beveled side and the non-beveled side. You can see the bevel, that goes up against the edge of the crank. And the flat sides, they go side to side. It's up against another rod. So you just have to make sure you put them in the proper way. These pistons, they're just both big valve reliefs. So you don't need a left and a right. It's just, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter. So that's fine, but with the dome, it works out for the compression. So I guess we're done for the night. I ain't gonna show y'all putting these back in, but these are not spiral locks. These are just these little C-clips or E-clips, whatever they are. And they are actually pop in and out pretty easy. They're not a big deal at all versus those spiral locks. The easiest thing is those buttons, which we don't have any buttons. Randy's has got buttons. If I ever get a custom set of pistons, it's going to have buttons, I promise you. So, all right, guys, well, we're done for the night. Go to turbojohnracing.com. Grab yourself some merchandise. Grab a rod if you want it for somebody in the family. Christmas present works out great. Or grab some T-shirts. We got some hoodies. And we'll see y'all soon. Hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll have this thing all put back together and racing. And I did end up getting that other camshaft. That camshaft is a used camshaft. I got it off of eBay. 264, 268 on the intake and exhaust at 50 degrees for the duration, 112 lobe separation. So that should work just a tad better than this other one, the 109 lobe separation. So I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, look, we got a little friend coming in to say hi. He's like, give me some rubs. Give me some rubs. This cat used to not like people, but all of a sudden, he's like, everybody is his best friend. All right, guys, comment, like, and subscribe. Later. All right, guys, we out for sure now. I went ahead and since I had a little bit of extra time, it didn't take about an hour or so. We got all the old rods off. So those are the old ones. These are the new ones. Got the pistons all cleaned up. Cleaned up pretty good. They're against off-the-shelf CP bullets. Oh my goodness, really? I had to grab, the first piston I grabbed that said it was good was the one that I destroyed that has, I don't know how many, when did I knock these holes in these pistons? That one right there was about, that was about 5 blow-ups ago. I still hadn't ordered a piston. Okay, let's forget that one. Okay, we're gonna put that one to the side. I am at some point going to get some pistons. Oh, wait a minute. Crap. That piston's damaged too. That one's had a drop valve on it. Okay, hold on. Okay, one of these has got to be new-like. The copper coat just wiped right off. No, that one's damaged too. Shoot. Okay, hold on. This is it. This is the one. This is the one. Nope, it's got a drop valve too. Shoot. Are any of these pistons any good? Or any of them any good? Hold on. Okay, that's probably the best looking one. Let's see what these other ones look like. We're almost done here. Yeah, that one's got some damage. Some shrapnel going through there. No drop valves on that one though. So that's good. Let's see. Nope, here's the winner. This is the one that is the newest of the bunch. It is the newest. It's got a little bit of piston side skirt. Oh, nope, the bottom of that one's screwed up. That one must have been across from one of the ones that got destroyed on one of the blow-ups that we had. Okay, let's see here. No, it's kind of beat up too. Well, guys, we got new rods. Yeah, we got new rods.